Say, we'll call our meeting to order, and I hope everybody's looked over the bills, because I can't see them. If you guys all approve them, it'll be fine with me, if there are any.
There's
Yeah,
a whole
no.
pile, we got it.
It's the usual suspects.
Just sign it.
No, you don't even have to sign it.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought you did.
No, Bill was holding them hostage over there.
Holding out on
Well, they don't have to be signed by,
us. Right,
I already looked at them.
we've established that, but they don't.
They're not as user friendly as they used to be.
You know.
Yeah, hey, we gotta do it.
I get it.
What we're being told.
Okay, are
All
we
right,
back
thank-
in communication, everybody?
We're
Yeah.
good.
Okay, thank you. That was Dennis. He's not going to be able to make it. He's not feeling well, so we can proceed.
Okay.
So, are there minutes to take a look at here tonight and get the motion on them if we can?
Yeah. I put it- it's over. You guys are busy. Oh, you got the books for survey.
Mhm.
Great. I wanted to talk to you. Is the class still on for the 27th or you?
Yeah, we have
Okay.
like 13 people.
I'm gonna sign up for it probably, but I have jury duty. You'll know how that goes.
Yeah,
You don't know until the day before.
yeah.
So if I miss it,
You
I'll just
just-
take the next one.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
Perfect.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for December 2nd, 2024 as presented.
Second,
Any questions, additions, anything at all? All in favor?
aye.
Wait.
Aye. Okay. Moving on, Joyce, Health Agents Report.
Okay, so, it's been a little slow in the septic department, obviously, given the weather. We have pretty much completed all permitting, which, next year I would like to make it that all permits need to be in by the 15th of December. We have literally spent days on getting people to get their stuff in, even though it's the same thing every year. We still have, I believe it's 4 outstanding non-permitted places. And it's incredibly ridiculous that it's so time consuming. You know, up to New Year's Eve, we're processing stuff, and technically they're supposed to have their permits in hand for the 1st of January. So anybody not permitted is operating without a permit. So by moving the deadline up to December 15th for all paperwork, that gives us 15 days to process everything. And that way we can have cease and desist ready for the 1st of January or the 2nd of January, depending on what day of the week it falls on. Because people really need to be following the permitting. There's no excuse for it. It's businesses that have, it's not like they're new businesses. They've been in business for years. So we're gonna be looking at streamlining the applications to make sure that they reflect what exactly is needed all on one paper, as well as contact information. Businesses are not notifying us when they move physical locations. They're not notifying us when there's a change of management. And obviously that's problematic. And I do think that we need to also add on to tobacco permitting, that it is, if it is not already on there, I did not see it, but perhaps I'm missing something, but that permits are subject to inspection, because there are issues with tobacco inspections, people having stuff locked up and not wanting to show you that drawers that are locked. And so by putting that as part of the permitting process, it means that they have to open up all cabinetry to expose what they have for sale. So we'll be looking at that over the next couple of months and bringing that forward. We have gone through all septic folders that are sort of pending and just hanging out. I've made some phone calls to see where certain projects stand. If they've been hanging around for more than a year, 8 months, a year, I've been calling. We do have one case that's a probate matter, so that project's on hold till it migrates through family probate issues. Serve Safe classes on the 27th. We have approximately 13 people signed up this time, so that's fantastic. I think that's about it for my report for what I have. That's about it, Joe.
Okay, well, Heidi will agree. These building permits that we pull, we have a certain period of time to take action on the permit. It
Right.
becomes void, and in some cases, we have to pay the fee and start over again in the process, so.
Yeah, right now we have a
Here,
3
On the
years on
building
a,
code,
on-
I don't believe that splashes over to the health department, but we might think about for a future meeting or something, coming up with a deadline that the permit has to have some action taken upon it, or
Yeah,
it
Joe,
will become void.
currently, Joe, we have a 3-year time frame on any disposal construction permit. It's 3 years, which seems
Wow,
pretty extensive. Maybe we need to re-examine that to shorten that time period.
I
But I'm
would think,
cleaning
I
up
mean, not that a
cases
lot of
from,
things can change, but we suffer the same penalties on the building part of it as, and with our licenses.
yeah,
But not that I think any of the soil conditions that were originally improved are going to change. But then again,
right,
an abutting site could make some changes. Maybe they drill a well, maybe, who knows what they might do. So maybe we
right,
tighten that up a little bit. I don't know. It'd be a discussion for another meeting, but I'd be
absolutely.
willing to look at that.
Well, as I said, we're going through regulations as well as permits, so
Mhm.
as we start to do that, we can come up with take it step by step and go through each thing individually to determine if there needs to be parameters put on it.
Sounds like a conversation for another meeting.
Okie
Okay.
dokie, so that's all I got.
All right. Well, we are in the process of looking over the regulations. Has anybody come up with any red flags that they'd like to present tonight? Okay,
So Joe, I'm gonna go back to, we don't have a full board tonight, and I
know
don't think
that.
it's appropriate to vote on regulations without a full board.
Yeah,
I think that's
no,
a,
well, I just asked if anybody had any that they wanted to discuss. And I think we could go that far.
okay.
If anybody has any, I wasn't hearing anything, to be
I
honest with
think
you.
we discussed a lot of it the last time, but we couldn't vote because we were missing people too.
Yeah,
We did look into the tattooing, that, and it was kind of basically a
copy of the
copy,
states.
yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
generally follow the guidelines, but I think
For
it's
that,
good to review it every
Yeah,
couple of
absolutely.
years to make
Yeah.
sure that things haven't changed.
Okay,
Okay.
well, then let's talk about these permit fees for these one-day events.
Yeah, so, given that we are now licensing these 1-day permits for things like a sip and stroll, I'm sure that there are other events in town that could potentially happen. I'm wondering if it wouldn't be something to discuss, that maybe doing a 1-day permit, I believe is $75. And then if somebody is going to be permitted, they're going to have multiple events like the sip and stroll, that we do, 1 day is 75. 2 or 3 events is, say, 125, you save a little money there, and sort of increment it so that we are making it business friendly, but and also on our side, making it a more streamlined process. I don't know how the board feels about that.
How about if you were to put something in on paper, present it at the next meeting, and we'll take a look at what you got in mind and we'll vote on it. How's that?
Okay,
sound?
yeah, I didn't want to jump ahead and do it without seeing where the board, what the board felt about it, but I think it might be a good way to sort of streamline
What does
things.
the multiple day be now?
We don't have
don't
one,
have
it's
one, okay.
$75 every time they do it,
Oh,
which,
yeah.
I
So,
mean,
yeah,
that's
similar
pretty
rate.
typical
Yeah,
of most
that's-
towns. I think we just need to look at it to make sure that it
you
fiscally
wanna be
makes good
business
sense
friendly,
for the
sure.
department, but also is business friendly as
Yeah.
well.
Pro
I agree.
business and try and bring in more
Yeah, more
events.
event,
Yeah,
I think
or
that-
longer event, sure. Yeah, I agree.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
That's,
hi, Jean Landis Norman. If you'll
I
recall,
recognize your voice, Gene. How are you and Happy New Year?
thank you, Joe, same to you. If you'll recall, I met with you and Joyce shortly after the agricultural fair because of the rate, the one-day rate that was being charged. And we had vendors who could not afford that rate because it was just a one-day event and that would have wiped out their entire profit line. So I had asked for some consideration, particularly if it was a vendor that was also being vetted for like the regular farmers market or some other event in town. So I just wanted to remind you of that request while you're discussing this.
Okay, Gene, we will certainly keep that in mind, and we hadn't forgotten about that. I think that's why Joyce is bringing it up, to be honest with you, in preparation for the better weather, which hopefully we'll be getting soon. Okay,
Thank you.
no, thank you for weighing in on that, but yep, I think Joyce is on the same page. Okay, anything else on that before we go to this Title V licensing issue, Joyce?
just the permitting is what I talked about, just coming up with new deadlines and more streamlined applications. That's number 2. Excuse me, that's number 3. And then, the Title V thing. There's just been some events that have happened, and so I'm looking at what other towns do. And I'm not sure how or if we should proceed, but right now, we accept Title V's from anybody that is the
Right.
licensed Title V inspector, and they pay a fee. There are other towns that have a licensing procedure for Title V inspectors, which includes that they must submit their license with a picture, the expiration date, and all of that. And the Title V inspections are limited to those licensed inspectors for that
Individuals.
town. Yeah.
Correct. That's
um,
right. That's all correct, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's something we want to consider. And if
What they're
not,
trying to avoid, okay, excuse me, what they're trying to avoid and what they mention when you go to the course, what they're trying to avoid is it becoming like a service company of other kinds, whereas the principal becomes the licensed person involved, and yet the employees are out doing the actual physical work. They don't want that. They
Right,
want
because
the
they're not
license holder
qualified
to
to do the
be the
work.
person who's right, who's doing the work. That's what they're trying to accomplish. So that to that end, do we have you're saying Kingston now, does Kingston, do we have an individual license strictly for doing the inspections?
no, we don't. We have
think
a
so.
$25 fee that you pay as the inspector when you turn the report in. And my
Okay.
concern with that is
Yeah.
that at no point do we request from those inspectors, we don't have a copy of their current license that shows that they are licensed with NUIPIC in the state, that they've completed their CEU hours, and that they
Yeah.
don't have an expired license. And so
So-
to me, that's a
Understood.
problem.
let me ask this.
It is.
Is that not all available on the mass.gov site?
It is, but you
So it
realize,
takes 30 seconds to look it up.
right,
Okay. So,
But
But
like
this-
when we go,
There's some other
when we go
issue.
in to apply for a building permit, we produce our license. We don't
Yeah, just like
let
he did.
them
oh yeah,
check it.
Yeah,
we have to,
Jason.
we have to produce insurance
Yeah,
certificates, you
right.
name it, we gotta lay it
All
out
of
there.
that, sure, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be very reasonable for us to come up with some parameter whereby that the inspector's license number and ID is on the report when it gets turned in. I wouldn't want to get jammed up with a homeowner
Well,
with
they
us
have
having
to put their
accepted a.
license number, Joe, but what
They
the
might not
problem
even
is,
get a card anymore, Joyce,
no,
because.
you can, because I
It
get
could
it
be-
when I
but-
got mine, you get a
Well, we
card.
no longer get one, and Jason doesn't even get one for some of his certifications.
Yeah,
So,
but my issue is
As
that
we are-
we have people that are performing Title Vs
That are
that are
not.
not inspectors.
Yeah.
And using other people's names and business.
but that would just say that
Information.
that would be a copy of their driver's license with, if there is an available card for the Title V certificate license. But there might, I'm saying, do you get a card anymore?
I do.
Okay. we
For
don't.
what?
Licensing for hairdressing and nail technician.
Nursing,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
get one.
No, I know, yeah, you guys are DPHs, everything's online.
Yeah. So.
No, and I understand that, and I
foresee
don't,
that coming, so I think we need to think beyond. Not just, I don't wanna pigeonhole us to having a copy of their license of their.
right, that's my
Title
point though,
V
by
license.
licensing somebody, having installers licensed with the town to be able to perform Title Vs in our town, they would need to, it's much like an installer, you need to produce all of that stuff. You are licensed, and then when somebody, a resident needs a Title V, we give them a list and say, these are the people that are licensed, like, I think it's, Halifax or Holbrook does that, there are certain towns that you have to be a
There's
licensed
several,
inspector.
there are several.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm wondering if maybe that might be something to at least consider going to. And I think that would also reduce the, like you said, Joe, these fly-by-nights that are just, I don't have much, belief in the reports. It's mass produced, like,
Confidence.
yeah,
Yeah.
confidence. And that, for me as a health agent, is concerning because I certainly do not want to see a resident be told that their system's fine or pass it and because, oh, I gotta sell my house, because it's,
Mhm.
I'm aware of what goes on. And so somebody's passing this guy's house and this guy sells it. Now this new owner buys it. 6 months later, they're into it for $30,000 because they gotta replace a system.
Mhm.
I am, obviously being a Title V inspector, I'm aware that the inspection is only as good as the day it is done on. However, I think that by licensing these inspectors, we have a better chance at getting an accurate and well-done Title V that would prevent.
And a legitimate.
Right, and I just don't want to see a resident get, one, taken advantage of, or two, somebody get sold a house that, like I said, 6 months from now, it goes into failure because they were passed by a less than honorable inspector.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if that's something that the board's willing to consider, I will put that together.
You're going to have to consider the fee
Yep.
for the license application. You want to make it, not every installer is an inspector or vice versa.
Right,
And you're going to want to make sure that the fee is differentiated. An average septic system installation can run anywhere in the tens of thousands of dollars versus the inspection in the mere hundreds. So
Right.
what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get a different fee for that different license, and this will require a public hearing if we decide to enact this program.
okay.
And you're
I would also
absolutely
want to
right.
make it so, are we able to limit the amount of inspectors that we license in the town? Is it's
No,
something that,
because then that would be considered that you were having favoritism.
got it, all right, so then I guess the thing is, we make it so that the fee dissuades people
The
who
fee
are
would have
just
to be
doing.
commensurate with the projected like if you were gonna charge, what are we charging currently for the installers? Fee, $125?
I believe. No, it's 225
Oh, all right, so then this
for
might
the
be a
installer
$100
for the
fee.
year.
Okay, then this may be a $100 flat fee per year and be done with it. It's gotta be a little less than half of what the installer's fee would be, in my opinion. But yes, several other towns are doing it. You might even check in with, I know Norwell does it. I
Yeah,
believe
no, I'll call
Hanover's
around to
doing
a
it.
couple towns, Joe, and get
There you go. Yeah. Yeah,
what they're
perfect.
doing and what they're charging.
Yep, that's how they're doing it. It's not unheard of it by any means, and it is a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. And the one that you were saying was an issue, we had a complaint called in or something, and that
Yeah,
was that, huh?
I've spoken with the business owner and my understanding is that Newey Pick and the state is dealing with it, so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we don't need to get involved in it.
Nope. No, I told
But
her
we
that
have
that's-
confirmed that the business owner has gone out and reissued a Title V inspection under his name and not
Yeah.
under the person that was dismissed from the company. And so that way we are assured that the Title V is correct and accurate and, but,
Good.
and they will let me know what the status is of when the state decides what to do. Cause it is fraud. I mean,
Okay.
it's a serious thing.
Yeah,
It's
Kind of a
unfortunate
shame.
all the way
Sounds like-
around.
yeah, it's an internal problem with that business. Good luck to them. Okay, let's
And then the
see.
last thing is just the application and permit review to make it consistent. Like when we issue food establishment or retail food or milk and cream, some of the permits are one way, you got another way, so just making everything consistent so that when anybody is looking at the permit, it's very clear what the permit is for, who it was issued to, and what the beginning and end date are to make it consistent across the board.
Okay,
So once we
Sounds
get that
reasonable.
done, I'll let you know.
Bill, you got any questions?
No, everything you said, I like.
Okay,
We straighten out some of this stuff.
I'm trying, Bill.
And especially they can't blame you or us
Right.
if something's passed and they haven't showed the right IDs.
Right,
They'll-
that's my
they'll
concern.
blame us.
Everybody.
I don't
She
wanna
said
be-
we could do it.
Yep, I don't want us, the town, to be any way implicated in any kind of bad inspection.
Well, and what it comes down to is we want what's best for the residents. That is
Absolutely.
absolutely what this comes down to. is
Absolutely.
Representing the residents.
Well, as a homeowner, I wouldn't want to get handed a bill of goods and then I'm out 30 grand because I have to replace my system. So
Oh,
that's
no,
all I
no,
got.
No, you certainly wouldn't. Cheryl, you have any thoughts?
I do actually. On the 1-day events Jean was speaking of, like how we have our food trucks, is that like a yearly permit that we give them, a seasonal permit?
Yeah, but it's a lot more expensive.
It's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So the 1-day event, like, do we have like a list of 1-day event to, like, we don't, we have one flat
No,
fee.
really, the only thing right now, we have a 1-day permit because
Mhm.
most things are
Are
1
1
day. It's just these events at the mall. There's multiple,
Vendors.
it's the same event multiple times. And so we are doing the same person 3 times a year for the same thing. And so, and with the redevelopment of the mall and it, trying to get things in there,
Sure.
I presume that we're gonna have more of these type of events.
Mhm.
And so, I think it's important to just sort of figure out what is reasonable.
Right.
And as far as fees go, fees are part of, I owned a business.
Yeah.
Fees are part of doing business.
Sure.
And, people's choice to participate in things, is again, part of doing business.
So my thing was, would we possibly have something that they could purchase so they know they're gonna do 3 events in the year.
Yes,
in
that
Kingston.
would be the
And they
idea.
purchase, you know,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna do the one at the, you know, the mall, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna do the one at the, you know, for the agricultural fair. They could purchase the
Well, I
3-day
think
event.
we need to be careful about the agricultural fair,
Okay,
because that would fall under the same idea
okay,
as the things at the mall, because those are 1-day limited events.
okay.
What I don't want to get have any confusion on is a farmer's market permit is for the farmer's
Farmer's
market. That is for being at the farmer's market. It is not for the person who goes to the farmer's market and work and has a permit there and then decides to do a
Another
1-day
location.
event.
Okay,
That is a separate charge, and those two things should stay separate,
Okay.
because the rules are a little bit different.
Yeah. okay, I agree, but.
And we've
someone's
already
doing
made,
that.
we've already made provisions
We
for
lost Joe.
the farmer's market too. We've created a one-time fee that is, I think, if I remember right, it's like 0 to 10 times is one fee, and then 10 to, as hopefully the farmer's market
For the same event.
increases. Yeah,
Exactly.
they
All right,
will
I
have
get
a,
that. Okay.
you know, a
That was
little
my
bit
question.
different.
Okay,
I don't know what happened. Something happened. I lost about a minute and a
Notice,
half there.
don't worry, we're good.
We were just talking about the farmer's market and how we came up with
Oh, I thought you were talking about me, Joyce.
No, I wait till you're on to do that.
Okay.
No, I was just reiterating that last year we did the farmer's market to incorporate one fee for the 0 through 10, and as the farmer's market increases in productivity, and hopefully is more than once a month, as that increases, the fee will increase to incorporate a larger amount of times during the year, but that hasn't happened yet. But that the fee for the agricultural fair and these 1-day permits are completely separate from the farmer's market. It's two separate
Yes.
things.
Okay. Listen, why don't you take
That's
a
what you
minute while we
missed.
got a minute here. Why don't you just take a minute? Our associate member, Janet Wade, and myself and Joyce have been, well, we're working with the school a little bit to see if we can interact with the school and some of the nursing students in the school. Joyce, can you add to this a little bit? Joyce is, Janet's not available tonight. You think
No,
you might
that's
just
okay.
bring the board up to speed a little bit?
Yeah, sure. We had a fantastic meeting with Justine Napier, who is now the head of the nursing curriculum at Silver Lake. And we're looking to
That's the Allied Health Studies.
Allied Health Science,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm gonna help you with some words.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking to help incorporate some of the hands-on learning or experience with the students, with both the COA stuff, maybe doing some program development around like informational things, like how do you stay hydrated, or what is good nutrition, and giving them projects to work on that will also be helpful for them when applying to nursing school, or if they choose to continue their studies in a health related area, this will be good experience for them. I know that Justine is looking to, we talked about the possibility of the scheduling sort of changing, because right now they're on one kind of system. And there's a possibility it might go to more of a block system, which would open up a lot more opportunity, because it will be longer periods of time in one class versus the period system that it works on now. We're hoping to be able to incorporate them into our work at the COA, even if it means them going and sitting and interacting, playing games, having conversations with the seniors that go there, to get them sort of acclimated to how do you interact with somebody that's not of your generation, and, make it more comfortable in a setting that is sort of non-threatening, and that has some staff around to help. So Janet and I met, and we have a follow-up. In fact, I emailed Janet today with some times for her and I to sit down to meet, to see what we can do and go forward.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah, and Justine is absolutely wonderful to deal with. She's really receptive, very open to ideas. So hopefully that, and also working in the shelters as well, to look at ways that we might be able to utilize students for educational purposes in the, especially the Route 80 shelter, maybe not so much the Baymont.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Well, okay, listen, and it's New Year's, so it's always a good time for some of these things, but the progress that you guys have made, you and Larry both in the office, and streamlining things and some of the systems that you've put in place, and I think are going to pay dividends moving forward. And I know on behalf of myself, and I'm sure the remaining board, all the board members, we're absolutely thrilled with the way the office is going. And it's been a breath of fresh air, and we appreciate it.
Oh, good. We're trying.
Yeah. Oh, nope, you're doing great.
Guys
The
didn't
both of you
appreciate
are
it,
doing
absolutely.
fantastic. We have
Well,
a great
I have
team.
to
And did
say,
you tell
Joe-
the board? No, you didn't. You had a good opportunity. You guys won the door. You didn't tell anybody.
We couldn't understand you, Joe.
You broke up.
Andy's
You didn't tell everybody about winning the door prize.
Oh.
The what?
The door prize.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I came in. They decorated doors for.
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
Say what?
They decorated doors for the.
And we
Oh,
won with our Rat King door. We
They
embrace
won the door prize.
and we definitely embrace the health department
Vision.
fun with rats and
Yeah.
pigeons.
Oh,
We were
nice.
the most.
Yes,
creative.
we were,
Do you
yeah.
have a picture of this?
Oh, we do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to think.
Yeah.
Oh, it was wonderful.
So, just a heads up, I will be out of the office I have training on the 16th, Wednesday, the 16th. I'll be in Salem all day as part of the Mass Fit housing training, which is great. I've had a wonderful opportunity to meet privately with the person that's giving the class in regards to some housing situations here. So this training will be great. So that's the first part of it. It's an all-day conference. And then I have 3 Zoom sessions that will occur. I think it's 2 weeks later. But in between that, I will be out of the office from the 17th to the 23rd to go away for a little bit. So I just figured I should give everybody a heads
Okay.
up.
Sounds like a good idea.
And I will
Good
be
luck with all of
available
that.
by phone during my time away.
Well, thank you. Okay, thank
Because
you very
things
much.
happen when I'm away.
Okay.
Has anybody got anything else?
No.
Go for it.
Okay, our next meeting is on February 3rd.
Wait, Joe, hold up a second here. I think.
No, no, no.
I'm
you
not-
should say that.
okay,
Say that.
I'm fine.
Say that. Go, Joe. Next meeting, February 3rd.
Yeah, I got that.
Motion
Okay.
adjourned.
Second.
So February 3rd is the next one.
All right.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yep. Oh,
He's
Yes,
freaking
I guess
out.
we're taking them out. You're
Listen,
done.
thank you all.
Back to the heat.
Thank you all.
Oh, and he's gone.
Hi, Joe.
Melting.
We'll see you soon.
Tuesday, February 3rd.